guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a video giving you some recommendations on the steamiest MM books that I've read. Please excuse the rain, it is really pouring right now. And I just want to preface this by saying this is my idea of steam. I know for everyone obviously it's different. Some people prefer super kinky books. That's completely fine, that's more power to you. Other people prefer books with less sex in it. I personally I prefer intimate moments in terms of like cuddling and hugging and kissing over sex personally. However, some books I've really enjoyed the sex scenes in their books, and so this is a video of books that to me have really stood out, of like I've actually really enjoyed that. I mean, most books I do enjoy the sex scenes, but some I prefer, some authors like sex scene writing I prefer over others, which kind of sounds weird, but yeah. So if you listen to these books and you're like they're literally PG rated to you, to me, I don't know, I like a book with a bit more to it than just the sex kind of aspect. However, I can appreciate a good sex scene. So if you guys want to comment down below what you find, no, that's a bit weird, what your favorite books are with like the steamiest scenes. I'm going to call this like steamiest books because I don't think I can actually put sex in the title or it'll probably get blocked. So this is like steamiest scenes, steamiest books in my opinion. I've only got 5, but there's definitely a lot more. Like there's a lot of authors and a lot of books and series that have really good steam scenes in them, and obviously depending on what you like as well. So I don't really like, well no, I don't really enjoy like the daddy boy kind of kink. I also don't really enjoy super like rough, aggressive either, but I like a little bit of spice. I just don't like it in some areas. Like like the daddy thing, and not a vibe for me personally. Not super big into like the age gap kind of category either, but anyway, let's just get into it. I don't think you need to know my preferences. First book is a new book, a recent book, and this is Brainwashed by Nyla K. So I did a reading vlog on it, and this is the first book by Nyla K that I have actually read. I know almost all of her books are pretty steamy, pretty kinky, have like different kind of kinks in them too. I've only read Brainwashed. I did try to read Distorted, however I really didn't like the sex in that book, so I did stop reading that. And then the rest she has a MF or MMF, which I'm not really into. So the only 2 MM ones she has are Brainwashed and Distorted. I really liked Brainwashed, and it definitely had some steamy scenes in it, to say the least. I felt like this book was really well paced in terms of we got the actual plot, we got the actual story, we got background information, we got to see the characters kind of develop, but there was also a portion of this book that was very steamy scenes. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but let's just say there's a steam, yeah, my mind's like straight to that scene. There is a scene in this book that I was like, oh my god, but I kind of loved it, and it was, I don't know if I should say it, I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but it involves a sonogram. I'll leave it at that. If you guys want to read it, it is probably one of like the steamiest, sexiest scenes I've read in an MM book, to be honest, but that's probably because I don't read like super erotic kind of books. But it was really good. I really enjoyed their chemistry, their sexual chemistry. I really liked how it was kind of unique in a way, and I really actually enjoyed it. And so Brainwashed is between Felix and Lem, so there are 2 main characters, and it's the third book in the Alessandraa Penitentiary series by Nyla K, and essentially is around like this penitentiary, and the world doesn't know about it. And so Lem is a psychiatrist who goes in to kind of analyze Felix, because Felix is a serial killer. But I would definitely recommend this book. It is definitely very steamy. I have a whole review on it in my other vlog, so you can check that out if you want to hear a bit more about the actual plot, what I thought about it, all that. But in terms of steam, loved it. It's definitely a very sexy time. Next we have Bad Blood by L.C. Davis. So this, again, in another reading vlog. All of these books I have mentioned before, but they're all just in this video for their sex scenes, basically, essentially. Bad Blood is definitely very steamy because so Chase is our main character, but he does have sex with like multiple people at once in this book. However, it is all MM, and it is polyamorous. Yeah, it kind of is, but it's not like a relation, like it's not a set in stone relationship. It's kind of hard to explain unless you read the book, because it does intertwine with the plot of the book. But it's the first time I've read I guess a foursome scene where our main character has more than one love interest, sex partner, whatever you want to call it. So it was definitely quite steamy. I actually really enjoyed the scene in this book. I really liked the way that L.C. Davis wrote these scenes. I thought they were done with humour as well as sexiness, and I really enjoyed seeing how Chase kind of interacts with different people and how their sex kind of differs between each other. I don't know, I just really enjoyed it, but it was definitely one I was like, oh my god, I haven't read something like this before. I'm sure a lot of you probably have, but I hadn't, so I was like, wow, love that. Next we have Illicit by Alexandra Hazzard. I could really say any of Alessandra Hazzard's books are pretty steamy. They definitely have a lot of sex in them, and there's a few that I really like. I really like Illicit. I also really like Feral, that also has really good sex scenes, and that's between Jules and Devon, I think. That's a really good book. I love that book. That also has good scenes in it. But Illicit, I would say, is the one that I was really like, wow, that is sex right there. But it was really, really good. It was definitely very, I'm like, should I be watching this right now? Should I be reading this? But I loved it. It was really good. I would say this and maybe just a bit bossy are probably the two steamiest ones, but that's in my opinion. If any of you guys have read her books, let me know what you guys think is her steamiest book. But yes, this is between Liam and Anthony, this book, and I think it's a bit more because it's a taboo kind of topic, because Liam and Anthony are brothers, but they're not actually, because I'm not into incest, but they're not actually brothers, so it's okay if you're like, ooh, they're not. But there was like that taboo-ness to it as well, kind of like with Step Brothers. There's like that bit of taboo to it that makes it a bit more, I don't know, kind of initially steamy, I guess. But yes, that is Illicit by Alexandra Hazzard. And then we have Play Dirty by Onley James and Neve. And again, I would really say anything from both of these authors is quite steamy. I would say Neve maybe more than Onley. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. I feel like Neve's book have more sex in them, whereas Onley's have sex, but it's like kinkier sex, if that makes sense. But I think Onley has really, really great sex scenes in most of her books. I've really enjoyed all of them. Again, same thing, has a lot of humor in them as well, and depending on the couple, it has a few different elements. And then Neve, I would say she has really great books with really great sex scenes in them as well. From Neve, I would probably say Show Me and Want Me are the two steamiest ones. Want Me definitely has the most sex, but Show Me is like my favorite kind of sexual chemistry in that book. But this book, sorry, this got sidetracked. This book is Play Dirty, and so this is book 2 in their Wages of Sin series, which all of these books, I mean, both of these authors write great sex scenes. So all 3 of these books have really good sex scenes, but I especially liked this second one. It does have a bit of knife play in it though, so that is a trigger warning that is listed, so if you're triggered by that, don't read it. But this is Madigan and Azriel story, and I love both of these characters a lot, and I also think they have great sexual chemistry as well as just chemistry, but theirs were a lot of fun to read about and I really enjoyed theirs. And when I was kind of sitting there thinking like what are some of the books that stand out with their sex scenes, this one definitely came to mind, so that's why I've included it. But I would really say from either of these authors, if you're looking for good sex scenes, I'd probably go to them because they have a lot and they're all really good. And then we also have Headcase by Onley James. Trying to pick out my favorite, I wouldn't say this is my favorite relationship, but favorite sexual chemistry. I kind of really like the animalistic version we've got of Asa and Zane, and so this is the 5th book in the Necessary Evils series by Onley James. So I really love Asa and Zane as a couple, don't get me wrong, but my favorite couple, actually I can't even pick because I really love them all, but Adam and Noah I would say like my favorite top tier couple. But I also think Mac and Archer may take that based off the little snippets we've got, and I also think sexually theirs will be really good. But Headcase is definitely more kinky and it's more animalistic, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great time to be honest. That's a great book if you're looking for some spicy scenes that aren't super, I guess, normal. I don't really like that word. They're just a little bit different, which is a lot of fun. And then I also thought I'd give you some authors / some other books that I think are also quite steamy. Anything by Lily Mayne. I think Lily Mayne does great sex scenes, and depending on the couple there's definitely different elements. So I really like Eden's book, I really liked Moth. I think they had some great sex scenes going on in both of those books. The Fae series also, but I'd say it's better on the plot than the sex scenes. A couple of books that I thought that are steamier, a bit kinkier, books that I've really enjoyed the sex scenes between our main couple or just the people in the book in general. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I would love to do a video on books and books that don't have any sex scenes, but that's pretty rare. I have yet to find a book that doesn't have a sex scene in it. So if any of you guys have any recommendations, definitely feel free to comment down below. Obviously you have like Heartstopper and more YA books that don't have sex scenes in them, but in terms of like adult books, I haven't really found any without sex scenes, which is kind of expected because it's an adult book, it's going to have that element. I personally like having sex scenes in there. I don't like when the whole book is sex scenes though. I don't love that. I like a balance. I like the story, the characters, the plot with a little bit of that sex scenes, but mainly a romance over just sex. But yeah, I've yet to find an adult book that doesn't have any sex. So if you guys have any recommendations, definitely feel free to leave them down below. I can check them out, make a video on like the opposite than the steamy scenes. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, for being here. If you guys like this kind of content, definitely feel free to like and subscribe. And if you have any recommendation videos you want, please feel free to link them down below or comment them down below. I'll happily make a recommendation video based on whatever you guys want to see. I'm reading some books at the moment, so hopefully I have some new books to put into different recommendation videos. I'd love to do a mafia based recommendation video. Ella, Frank and Brooke Blaine have a mafia series coming out the end of this month, so once I read that, I'll hopefully have enough that I can actually give you a recommendation list of at least like 4 books series that are mafia related. But yeah, if you guys have anything you want to see, definitely feel free to comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, for being here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.